Hello, everyone. It's the 23rd of September, Thursday, and we're having the class on Zoom today. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise. If you can find a very comfortable position. And before we start the breathing, I'd like you to just rock side to side on your sitting bones. So I want you to feel each sitting bone being pressed into either your pillow, the floor, or a chair. Go gently and notice as you go from side to side, you feel the right and the left. And then come back to center and see if you can get the weight exactly even on both sitting bones. Exactly even. It's rare that it's even. Sometimes we're leaning to one side. We don't really notice unless you pay attention. So as much as possible, keep it even on both sit bones. Lift your spine so that you feel the back lifting up, the chest lifting, and your shoulders widening to the sides, as well as the neck lengthening. Hands can be placed on your thighs. And we'll just gently turn the head from side to side, releasing any tension in the neck. When I start turning my head, I often feel like, ooh, it feels very tight. But then after a while, it kind of smooths out and the neck muscles feel pretty good after that. And then we'll do the nodding where you lift your chin looking skyward and lower chin towards the chest. Just a few of these nodding movements. And again, with these movements, I feel tension at first, and then it kind of leaves the neck because it activates the muscles. Now lift your head so that the chin feels as if it's parallel to the floor. Feel your shoulders widening and close your eyes just for a moment and notice your breath. Often people like to feel the breath moving in and out just at the tips of their nostrils. So whether you feel the breath moving in and out at the tips and the opening of the nostrils, or you feel it maybe in the sinuses, or maybe you even feel it in the lungs, just notice and observe. Now, keeping your eyes closed, see if you can bring the breath in the body and imagine it filling up from the back of the body to the front of the body. And as you breathe out, feel the breath exiting from the front body to the back of the body. That's right. So you breathe in and you feel it moving from the back body to the front. You breathe out, you feel it moving from the front body to the back. Practicing this type of breath. Moving from the back to the front and from the front to the back. Now we're going to keep going with the eyes closed. And I'd like you to imagine now that the breath is moving in from the base of the spine all the way to the crown of the head. And when you breathe out, the breath moves down from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. So it's like filling up a glass of water. When you breathe in, the water fills up from the bottom, going up all the way to the top. Imagine it goes up to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, the water, like being sucked out of a straw, goes back down the glass to the bottom of the glass. So just imagine this. Of course, we don't have lungs in our head or deep in our abdomen, but it should be a sensation. Keeping the eyes closed, we're going to get a little bit more complicated with this type of breath. Imagine now that the breath fills in at the front of the body and it makes a circular movement until it reaches the crown of the head. And then as you breathe out, it moves down the back of the body to the base of the spine. Same thing, front of the body as you breathe in to the crown of the head, and then back of the body as you breathe out, reaching the base of the spine. Breathing in, let it rise, front of the body. Breathing out, let it fall back of the body. And of course, this is just a visualization. How the breath is moving in your body. And now we'll completely turn that on its head. We're going to switch directions. So as you breathe in, imagine it's coming up the back of the body to the crown of the head. And then as you breathe out, it's going down the front of the body to the base of the spine. Breathing in, back of the body going up to the crown of the head. Breathing out, going down the front of the body to the base of the spine. Do that a few times with that visualization. And perhaps you can even feel it. There's a sensation that goes along with it. One more breath like this. Good job. And gently open your eyes. Well done. Hands to your heart center. Interlace the fingers and push the palms skyward. Lengthen out your spine and the sides of the body. Take another deep breath in, just filling the rest of the lungs. Breathe out, lean to your right as far as is comfortable. Coming back up. Breathe out to your left. Coming back up. Change again, lean to your right. Breathing in, rise back up. Breathing out, lean to your left. Rise back up. One more time each side. Breathe out to the right. Breathing in, rising. Breathing out to the left. And breathing in, rising. Bring the palms together, bring the thumbs into the upper back. Press your head gently against your forearms to lift the chin, to feel the stretch into the shoulders, armpits, and even into the chest. Good. Reach to the sky, and then bring your hands down in front of your heart center. Good job, ladies. Let's roll over the ankles, come up onto all fours. So in this position of all fours, hands can be underneath the shoulders, knees can be underneath the hips. Let's take a deep breath in and curl the spine, look skyward, and then breathe out and round, look to your belly button. And again, we'll curl looking skyward, breathing out, rounding. And once more, let's curl looking skyward, breathing out, rounding. Looking forward, I want you to open your knees now and sink back into a child's pose, just to relax the back and the hips. Reach your arms far out in front of you, fingertips pressing into the floor. And if you can, bring your forehead down to the floor. Take 3 deep breaths here, in and out. And again. One more deep, deep breath in, breathing everything out. Let's rise up onto the hands and knees. Now your hands should be farther forward than the shoulders. Bring your knees in, hip width, and let's bounce back and forth. Just gentle bounces, and create a curve in your low back to find that bowspring curve. Okay. The bowspring relates to the abdominal muscles and the lengthening of the abdominal muscles. Keeping the hips back, let's lift our right knee up to the sky, keep that curve in the low back, and press back gently. Feeling the hips, engaging and opening, getting ready. Then back to neutral, stretch your right leg out to the side, the inner thigh stretching, low back curved, and let's press back and forth again. It's like a gentle bounce, a gentle movement. Good. And bring the knee back down. Changing sides. Lift your left knee up, setting the left foot down, and we'll bounce back and forth, keeping the curve in the low back. That's going to be important for the health of the hips and the low back. Always keep curve. Then stretch your left leg out to the side, toes pointing forward, and let's go. Bouncing back and forth, getting the stretch into the inner thigh. And bringing the knee back down underneath the hips. Tucking your toes under, let's take a crouching cat position. A crouching cat, you're still looking for the length through the belly. So it's important here to feel that your ribs are moving away from the hips in crouching cat. Okay, so it's not just a posture where your knees are bent. The hips lift, 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 lift. Let's bounce back and forth. Then from here, keep the weight back towards the feet. Open your feet nice and wide. And let's walk our hands back very slowly, taking your time. Fingertips on the floor, the hips pressing way back and upwards, keeping curve in the low back. Lift your chin and bounce here a few times. You should really feel the legs warming up now, and especially the backs of the legs as well. Feel also the glutes mounting up behind you. And then we'll lift one hand at a time onto the thighs, lift the chest, hips pressing back, bring your right shoulder forward and look over your left shoulder. Coming back to center, we're going to change. Left shoulder comes forward, look over your right shoulder. Back to center, we'll change again. Right shoulder forward, look over your left. Back to center, left shoulder forward, look over the right. Back to center, one more time each side. Right shoulder forward. Back to center and the left shoulder forward. Back to center, gently lift your chest. Keep the knees bent, keep the hips back, and raise your arms in a V position. So they're diagonally up towards the sky. They're open in a V. And if you'd like, you can curl your fingers or keep the fingers straight. Sink down really, really low as possible without straining the back. And I want you to lean to the right. So it's as if you have a giant bus wheel and you're going to turn it to the right. Let your head go to the right. Let the upper body go to the right. Hold it 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. And we change sides. Go to the left and hold. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Gently straighten the legs. Coming up to standing. Good job. Step your feet in and step your feet forward to the front edge of your mat. Feet are always hip width. Knees are always soft. Hips are back, so you still recreate a nice curve at the low back. Chest is lifting away from the hips. Bring your hands to your heart center. And let's get ready to move. Take a deep breath in. Raise the arms, stretching skyward. As you breathe out, bring the elbows and the knees towards each other. And step back to a plank position. Hold this plank position. Lift your head, holding 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down, open your hands. You can lift your feet if you want, and we do one push-up. Chest comes down and back up. Move all the way to the floor now. Pointing your toes, bring your hands in. Rise up to a little cobra, very little cobra. Bring the chest back down. Push up onto the hands and knees and take crouching cat or down dog, whichever is good for you. Turn your knees to the right, and instead of bouncing, I want you to lift the palm of your right hand so you feel a deep stretch down the side body. Turn it back to center and begin stepping your feet forward until you reach the front edge of your mat. Bend your knees low, hands to your thighs, lift your chest, arms by your ears, raise them to the sky, and then come all the way up to standing, arms straight, legs straight with the knees always soft. Hands to your heart center, and we'll start again. Deep breath in, rise up. Elbows to knees as you fold it forward. Step your feet back into a plank position, holding the head up. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your knees down. Lift your feet if you wish. Open your hands. Do one push-up. All the way down. Point the toes. Bring your hands back in for your cobra. Bring the chest down. Push up and into down dog or crouching cat. Turn your knees to the left this time. Lift your left palm. Hold it. Feel the stretch down the side body. Coming back to center. Stepping your feet forward. Hands come to your thighs. Lift up into the chair. Arms by your ears. Reaching all the way up to standing. Arms by your sides. Elbows are straight. Hands to your heart center. And we go again, same thing. Deep breath in, rise. Elbows to knees, come all the way down. Good. Let me have a look. Get into plank position. Beautiful. Hold it here. Excellent, Evelyn. Good, Agnieszka. Good, Jane. 3, 2, 1. Bring the knees down, everyone. Open your hands and do a push-up. Perfect. All the way down. Point your toes, moving into cobra and down dog or crouching cat. Lovely. Turn your knees to the right. Yes. Lift up the palm of the right hand, just touching the fingertips on the floor. Beautiful. Turn back to center. Well done, ladies. And step it forward. Bend your knees low when you're at the front edge, hands to the thighs, and take the chair position. Yes, keep the curve in the back, and then come all the way up to standing. Arms by your sides, elbows straight. Yes, hands to the heart center, and we go again. Deep breath in, rise up. Perfect. Breathe out as you bend, elbows to knees, stepping back to a plank position. Beautiful. Hold it here. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your knees down. Open your hands. Take that one push up. Yes. Good. All the way down. Good, Evelyn. Come up to cobra. I see it's more than one. That's good. Overachiever. Push back to down dog or crouching cat. Yes. Turn your knees now, ladies, to the left. Lift up the palm of the left hand. Just the fingertips touch. Feel that stretch down the side body. Super good for opening the ribs, opening the lungs. Okay, turn back to center and stepping forward, getting into the chair position. From the chair, arms by your ears, and we come all the way up to standing, arms by the sides. Be sure you're straightening at your elbows. We're going to add on to all of this. Go as fast or as slowly as you prefer. Hands to your heart center. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise. Breathing out, elbows to knees. Coming down, and you're going to take a plank position. Now listen carefully. In the plank, instead of holding, I want you to bring your right knee down, open up to your left, raise the left arm. Raise the left leg, pointing the toe. We're going to bring the left foot forward in front of us and then back behind. 3 times, control it. Touch the floor in front, touch the floor in back. So you're going on either side of the mat. Here's the last one. Raise the leg again, bring the hand down. Touch the toes down, taking plank position. Lower the knees, open your hands. Now you can choose. You could do 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, however many you wish. Move it all the way down, pointing the toes, rising up to a cobra, coming back to down dog or crouching cat. So from here, turn your knees to the right, right palm lifts, and if you feel like you want to go for it, bring the right hand to the right ear and turn to your right, looking towards the right elbow. Just turn open. Then bring it back down to center. Stepping forward. Knees bend, hands to the thighs, help your back up. Arms by your ears. And all the way up to standing, arms by your sides, elbows straight. Good. Hands to the heart center. We go again. Deep breath in, rise. Breathing out, elbows to knees. Stepping back to a plank position. Now your left knee goes down. Raise your right arm up to the sky. Raise the right leg. Touch the toes in front of the mat and behind. Let's go 3 times. Here's the second. 2. Here's the last one. 1. Good job. Turn to the floor. Bring the toes down. Bring the knees down. Open your hands. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, however many you wish. All the way down. Point the toes long, cobra. Down dog or crouching cat. Turn your knees now to the right. Left palm comes up. And if you wish, set the left hand above the left ear and open to your left, twisting open. Turning back. Stepping forward. Getting into a chair position. Arms by your ears. And all the way up to standing, arms by your sides. Good. Let's go again. 2 more rounds. Hands to the heart center. Go for it. Deep breath in, rise. Breathing out, fold. Beautiful. Stepping back to a plank. Right knee goes down. Open up to your left. Left leg comes up. Point the toes and tap forward of the mat and behind. Good. That's 1. Again, 2. Beautiful. And 3rd round. 3. Good job. Turning back, get yourself back into plank position and gently lower the knees to the floor. Good. Open your hands. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, however many you feel today. Perfect, ladies. Oh, good job. Everybody down. Point your toes, rise up to a cobra, and push back to downward facing dog or crouching cat. Knees bend, turn them to the right. Right hand comes up to the right ear if you wish. Open up, twisting to your right. This is a big demand on some deep core muscles. It's a very, very strong posture. Coming back, hands come to the floor and step your feet forward. Bend your knees low, taking the chair position. If your back is bothering you, maybe you want to keep your hands on your thighs. Coming up to standing, arms by your sides. Good job. Hands to your heart center. And we go. Last round. Deep breath in, rise. Elbows to knees. Stepping back to the plank. Good job, ladies. Left knee comes down. Open up to your right. Right leg comes up. And the tapping in front of the mat, behind the mat. Good. In front, behind. Good job. In front. Beautiful. Behind and come back to the plank position. Yes. Knees can come down. Open your hands. 1, 2, or 3 push-ups, however many you want. Well done, ladies. Well done. All the way down now. Point your toes, rise to that cobra position, and then back to down dog or crouching cat. Turn your knees to the left now. Raising the left palm or bringing the left hand just above the ear, twist and turn open. Yes, good. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Hand comes back down, stepping forward until you get to the chair position. You can have your hands supporting your thighs if your back is bothering you, or arms by your ears, and come all the way up to standing. Good job. Legs are straight for the moment. Take a deep breath in and breathe everything out. Step back now to the center of your mat, center of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bend your knees, letting your hips go back a little bit. So the hips will go back, belly is long, knees are slightly bent, not as much as in a chair, but just slightly bent. Let's raise the right leg up in front of us, as if we want to step up onto a stair. And we're going to stay here, stretching the arms out in front of us, and we're going to bicycle the right leg. So just bicycle. Really nice work for the psoas iliac muscle. Keep the belly long. It's also working the standing leg. Now keep the knee bent, open your arms wide to the sides, and raise the leg behind you. So this is a modified airplane position. Both knees bent, the right foot pushing up behind you. Lift your chin, stretch your arms wide, and we'll just bicycle the right leg behind us as well. 3, 2, 1. Come up to standing to release. Good job. Bend your knees again. Hands to your heart center. Hips go back. So you've got a tiny chair position. Shift the weight onto the right leg and raise your left foot as if you're stepping up on a stair. Set your gaze at the horizon. Reach your arms out in front of you. And here we go, bicycling the left foot. Excellent work for the psoas, the thigh muscles, and the standing leg as well. 3, 2, 1. Open your arms as you lean forward and you raise the left leg behind you. Lift your chin. Lift the leg nicely behind you. Your standing leg is still bent. And we'll cycle behind us. Cycle the leg. Lengthen the belly at the same time. Strong and long. 3, 2, and 1. Come up to standing. Whew. Arms by your sides. Bring your hands now to your hips. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh, sinking down, not to a deep chair, but half chair. Grab your elbows. Right hand on the left elbow on top, left hand on the right elbow underneath. Twist now to your right, turning the upper body, but keep the lower body stable. Sink your hips back. Deep core work going on here as well. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. Unwind. Bravo. Release. Straightening the legs, releasing the legs and the feet and the ankles. This time, hands to the hips again. Left ankle over the right thigh. The knees kind of point upwards rather than outwards. So you lift the knee. Hips sink back, half chair. Left hand grabs the right elbow and you grab on top. Right hand grabs the left elbow and you grab from underneath. So we've switched the arms. Twist now to your left as far as possible. Deep core work. Look over your left shoulder as far as possible. Holding it here. 3, 2, and 1. Unwind and release. Good job, ladies. Hands to your hips. We're going to work with Bonsai Pose. It's not a full tree pose. It's smaller. You'll bend the right knee and you bring it 45 degrees, not 90 degrees. 90 degrees is the old chair, the old tree pose. So we want to get it at 45-degree angle to the hips. You can be either at the ankle, heel higher than the kneecap, or the inner thigh. But be sure that the thigh stays at 45 degrees compared to your hips facing forward. Raise your arms in a V position. Lift the ribs away from the hips. Take deep, slow breaths here. Allow your low back to arch, to curve. Good job. Hands come to the hips and we lower down. Change legs. Left knee bends, 45 degrees. Find ankle or a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise your arms, lift your chest, lift your eyes. Keep curving the low back and breathe. Good job. Bring the hands down to your hips. Well done. Bringing the foot back down. Excellent. Stepping to the front edge of your mat. Hands to your heart center. Let's take a deep breath in. Raise the arms, stretch skyward. And then elbows come to knees. Hands to the floor. Step back to your plank position. Lifting the chin. Lifting the chest away from the hips. We're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, instead of bringing the knees down, I want you to push back to down dog or crouching cat. Turn your knees to the right and let your hips come down to the floor. So the hips will touch before the knees. Then we'll slide all the way down onto the left-hand side. Hips are farther back than the shoulders. Knees stay bent. Right arm stretches out in front of you. Raise the right leg as high as possible. Foot gets higher than the knee as well. And we'll curve the hips back and pulse the leg up. So pulse it up 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, that's good. Knees bent. 5, 4, 3, 2, perfect. 1. Now stretch the leg as straight as possible, and we'll pulse it like we're pushing a door with the heel. So we pulse it. 10, 9, it should be diagonal. 8, we're working some of these outer glute muscles. 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, 1. Hold the leg straight. Turn the toes down. Heel is pointing more up than the toes. And raise the leg for little pulses. 10, 9, just tiny little pulses. 8, 7, 6, looking good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, ladies. Bring the leg all the way down and roll onto your belly. Hands can come underneath the forehead. Feet are hip width apart, point the toes. Raise both legs up, okay? You should be feeling this mainly in the glutes. If you feel it in the low back, maybe you want to bring the legs lower. We're going to bring the feet together to touch and bring them apart. So bring them together as you breathe out, apart as you breathe in. Breathing out, breathing in. 3 more. 2, and here's the last one. Bring the legs back down, hands underneath the shoulders. Get ready, push up onto your hands and knees. Walk your hands forward, tucking your toes under. Let's take the plank position. Head is lifted. Hold it here, just as we did before. Belly is long, back is curved. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good job. 1. Push back to down dog or crouching cat. Bend the knees, and we're going to change sides now. You'll turn your knees to the left, and you'll bring your right hip down to the floor. Stretch your right arm onto the floor. Left arm reaches out in front of you. Raise your left leg, knee is bent, and the foot is higher than the knee. Now we'll pulse skyward. 10, 9, you should be feeling the outer leg, outer hip. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, gently straightening the leg, you're going to be pushing with the heel, toes turned down. Let's go. 10, 9, 8. If you want to, just feel the work on the outer glute. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the legs straight, and we'll pulse upwards, skywards. 10, 9, toes down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Here's the last one. Bring the leg back down and roll again onto your tummies. Good job, ladies. Very nicely done. Whew. Bend your knees, flexing the feet. Reach your hands behind you, touching the heels. Just touching with your hands. Avoid grabbing the heels because this creates an imbalance in your hips. It pushes the femur bones forward. We want to just touch the heels. Lift your head, chest, shoulders, and the knees if possible. If it's too much, just don't go up very high, okay? Holding here. Looking forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come on back down. Hands under the shoulders now. Come up onto the hands and knees. Walk your knees forward. Swing the feet around to one side, and let's come to a seated position. Grabbing behind the thighs, let's roll down onto our backs. Feet at hip width or maybe a little bit wider. Hands, elbows are going to be down into the earth. Fingers are spread. You don't have to spread them wide, just keep them apart. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Bring your feet in at hip width and raise the hips. Okay, we're going to do a bit of glute work here. So first, I want you to raise your right knee up and then bring it back down. Left knee comes up and bring it back down. Okay, this is a walking bridge. So right leg comes up and back down. Left leg comes up and back down. Keep going. If it's too much for the back, don't lift the legs. Just keep the legs down. If it's fine for the back, we're going to raise one leg and we'll pulse 1, 2, and then back down. Raise the other leg and pulse 1, 2, and back down. Keep going. 1, 2, back down. 1, 2, back down. One more time each side. 1, 2, back down. Last round. 1, 2, and back down. Good job. Bring your hips to the floor. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. Set the hands at the fronts of the hips and close your eyes a moment. Just allow the inner thighs to stretch out, the hips to get into this position for a moment. Keeping the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Bring your hands down to the floor and raise your hips up while squeezing the glutes super tight. You're going to push the soles of the feet together. This is frog bridge. And let's press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips down. Bring the knees up. Let the knees touch each other and bring your feet wide. Relax here for a moment. Knees together, feet wide. Turn your head from side to relax a little bit the neck and the shoulders, as well as the low back. Good job. Okay. Bring your knees as wide as the hips. Bring the feet as wide as the hips and walk your feet away from you. The last one we're going to do is hamstring bridge. The heels are in the floor, elbows are down. Lift your hips up. Feel like you're pulling your heels towards your hips. They don't have to go very high. It's quite close to the floor, in fact. And if you're curious, just touch the backs of your legs. They should be very hard. Those are your hamstrings engaging to get the hips up. Pull your heels towards you and hold. 3, 2, 1. Bring the hips back down and let's get into happy baby pose. So you can grab behind the knees or around the ankles or at the bottoms of the feet, whichever feels best for you. Pull the knees wide and down towards your shoulders and take some deep, slow breaths. Bring the feet to the floor, feet as wide as the mat, arms stretched behind your head. Let your knees go to the right and reach your left arm far away from you, lengthening out the muscles of the belly. That's going to keep them also strong. When you lengthen, you're also strengthening. So feel the lengthening and get the left arm farther away from the left knee. Raise your left knee first, right knee follows. Let's let the knees go to the left and reach your right arm far, far behind you, holding here. Raise your right knee first, left knee follows. Keep curving your low back and raise your right leg to the sky. Grabbing behind the thigh, root the thigh down towards the earth, into the right hip, keeping curve in the low back. Big circle with the right foot. Change the direction of the circle. That's right. Good. Flex your foot now. Look for that stretch down the back of the thigh. Keep pulling the right thigh down into the hip socket, holding here. Crossing now the right ankle over the left thigh. Lift both knees up, and the right knee comes more towards the shoulder and chest than out to the side. So you want to get the right thigh deep into the hip socket and hold this position. And the left foot back down to the earth and allow the knees to fall to your left. Turn your head to the right, right arm out to the side. So this is a closed twist. Gently press the right knee down to the earth with your left hand. Just very gently. And as you breathe, see if you can breathe into the back body. Feel like the back body's expanding as you breathe in and letting go as you breathe out. Good. Let's lift the right knee up towards the chest and come back onto your back. Raise now your left leg to the sky. Grab behind the thigh, root the thigh down into the hip socket, and make a big circle with your left foot. Changing the direction of the circle. Yes. Now flex the left foot. And if you really root the thigh deep into the hip socket, you're going to feel a deep stretch down the back of the leg. It should feel pretty good. Holding here. Crossing the left ankle over the right thigh, both knees go up towards the shoulders or chest. Grab around the legs and pull them towards you, holding the position. Bring the right foot back down to the earth. Keep the legs crossed. Let the knees go to your right. Left arm out to the side. Bring your right hand onto the left knee. Gently move it towards the floor. Deep breathing as you stretch. And again, breathe into your back body if possible. Rolling back onto your back, lift your left knee first, right knee follows. Set the feet flat on the floor. Clasp your hands behind your head and bring your elbows in front of the face. Lift your head, chin towards the chest, getting a stretch into the upper back as well as the neck. Turn your head to the right. See if you can see your right heel. Come back to center and turn your head to the left. See if you can see your left heel. Coming back to center. Gently, gently lower your head to the earth. Release your hands by your sides, palms facing the sky. Stretching one leg at a time onto your mat. Find a position on your mat where you're comfortable, where you can completely relax. Take some deep, slow breaths in and out of the tummy. These first breaths are to allow your body to relax and let go. See if you can get an expansion as you breathe in and a release as you breathe out. Relax your body from head to shoulders, from shoulders to hips, from shoulders down the arms to the fingertips. From hips to knees. And from knees down to the tips of the toes. And bringing ourselves back to the breathing exercises we had at the beginning of class. As you breathe in, imagine the breath going from the back of the body to the front of the body. And as you breathe out, the breath goes from the front of the body to the back of the body. Now imagine as you breathe in, breath fills up from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, it moves from the crown of the head to the base of the spine. Now imagine as you breathe in, the breath moves up the front of the body to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, it moves down the back body to the base of the spine, making a circular movement. Breathing in, it rises up to the crown of the head. Breathing out, it moves down to the base of the spine. And we change directions. And as you breathe in, it moves up the spine. And as you breathe out, it moves down the front of the body to the base of the spine. Breathing in, it moves from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And breathing out, it moves down the front body to the base of the spine. Now take one more minute and just allow yourself to completely let go. Think about whatever you want to think about. And allow your body to relax even more. Begin now deepening your breath. Allow your tummy to expand as you breathe in and to release completely as you breathe out. And let's move the fingers and the toes. In moving your hands, your feet, your legs, your arms. Turn your head a bit from side to side. And then raise your arms up over your head, stretching from fingers to toes. Gently raise the knees against the chest, squeeze the knees against the chest. Good job. Rock a bit from side to side. And then let's stretch the right arm to the right ear, roll to your right hand side. Setting the hands down, lift yourself from the side, coming to a seated position. Beautiful, everyone. Very good. Let's rub our hands together. Bring the hands over the face. Tap around your eyes. Shake your hands out. And this time, let's rub our hands together and place your hands on a part of your body that perhaps needs a little bit more attention. It can be the neck, the back, shoulders, hips, wherever you feel. For me this morning, it's going to be the neck. And just send a little bit of healing energy, a little bit of warmth to that part of your body. And let's shake out. Bring the hands to your heart center. And I wish you all an absolutely lovely day. Thanks for joining today. Well done.